The other night, about 12:15 Saturday night, I was actually watching the post show for the Royal Rumble, and where nothing was asked of substance at all. I hope everybody brushed your teeth um, before they got things going. Luka Doncic was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers, James, for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first round pick. Also, Maxi Kleber is going to the Lakers, as well as
Yep.
Markieff Morris is coming back to the Lakers. Um,
Yep. Them
and
Morris bro, them Morris twins love LA boy.
yeah, and the Jazz ended up getting two second round picks in Jalen Hood Shafino.
Right.
I saw this originally come from Shams, and I sent it to the chat that you, me, and JML are in. I was like, this is fake. Like, that's the first thing I thought. I just like many other people, I was like, yeah, Shams is hacked. And then what I was like, I saw NBA TV tweeted. I was like, hold on. Hold on a second. What the fuck is happening? These are my visceral reactions to this thing. And I'm just like, I start celebrating immediately. Like, I've never been no great fan of Anthony Davis like that. I don't have to ever care about another game he plays in. Whatever. Don't dislike him. It's just it don't move me. And then start thinking about. I'm like, oh shit. We really got Luka Doncic I was like, how old is he? And then he was like, he's 25. And then I'm just like, why would the Mavericks do this? And immediately I begin laughing. I begin talking about Lakers exceptionalism. I begin
Yeah, you
just,
did.
saying, the Prince of the City is here. We can turn the franchise over. I start figuring out how we can trade LeBron next. I'm cooking up all the ideas here. And I saw a lot of the coverage, centered on this stuff, and it was like I saw just so many people just shell shocked James, and I wrote a little something because I did not want to miss a lot of the points I was thinking about with this. Just Nico Harrison is saying all this stuff. I don't know, man. I just want to say like this is actually a good trade, and I don't say that just because I'm a Laker fan. It's a reminder of what this league used to be. Nowadays, every trade has been run through every machine and loaded with swaps and picks and all this other confusing shit, right? This league was built on fleecing motherfuckers. Red Auerbach,
God damn
Jerry
it.
West, Mitch Kupchak, Jerry Krause, Jack McCloskey, R.C. Buford, Danny Ainge, the motherfucker that contributed to this. So ha ha. All we normally get now is teams trading picks so far in the future that the guy they end up picking is currently on a 10 and under AAU team. Everyone was so shell shocked because this is the player empowerment era. And a team finally said, fuck all that, we're making a decision for you. Now, was it smart? Fuck no. But it adds character to the league. Everything isn't an algorithm. This is the most exciting and unpredictable thing that happened in the NBA in years. Think about how that Carl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle trade made you feel. Think about the Rudy Gobert trade. Think about the charade that Jimmy Butler's been pulling while people agonize if he's even gonna get traded. We got no notice. They just ripped the band-aid off. Now, Nico Harrison, he's gonna get fired. No question about it. I don't recommend other GMs do this. I don't recommend GMs trade a 25-year-old, five-time first-team All-NBA player that is carrying the
Led the
highest
league in scoring last year.
led the league in scoring. That is the second highest career playoff per game scorer. That is also a global superstar that is almost a one man economy in a sense.
Yeah.
And
Offensive economy, yeah.
but if people aren't gonna be able to take these risks running these teams, then fuck it. We should hold a fantasy draft at the beginning of every season where every player decides where they play in the league. Like, I think this is exciting. And I think this was interesting, and I think it broke people's brains a little bit. aside from the age factor, we know why, with that. But this was just such a. This is teams doing what they wanted to do, I think, and I kind of liked it.
I think that you kind of like this only because it benefits the Lakers in a way that, in one of the most lopsided trades in the history of the league. They traded away a guy that, I don't know, in our lifetimes. What year were you born? 89, right?
Yeah.
So that means so we're not counting Magic. We're not counting Magic and Larry Bird. Nikola Jokic, Luka, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan. Am I missing anybody?
Shaq?
No, like
Duncan?
a one-person offensive economy. Not a one-person offensive economy.
Got you. James Harden?
Now, I guess you James Harden, Kobe, to a lesser extent, right? Where it's like
Steph.
I would say yes in his later ages, yes, but not in his prime. Because there were so many good players around him that he was the system, but he wasn't necessarily off the entire economy. Whatever, getting too far in the weeds, right? We're talking about a dude that literally can be on an island by himself and just do him, and it's a certain level of offensive competency compared to if we had three really good offensive players on it, three above average offensive players playing together. He's that kind of guy, and he's been that kind of guy since day one, and he's only 25. He turns 26, I think, next month, and as we talked about earlier, as far as with the wrestlers, the same things happen with basketball players where guys are extending their primes because of rehabilitative, restorative, medical advancements. So the idea that people keep floating around, and I keep seeing this number attached to it from people that have floated this out from the smear campaign from the Dallas side, is they don't want to pay him the $350 million max salary that comes with when he's up for the max. And it's I see what you're doing. You are telling people what the total would be, the cost to pay him that money, and want us to forget that, one, the end of the contract, he'll only be fucking 30, 31, and two, we're supposed to forget that max salaries are only just percentages of salary cap, not like it's baseball where a motherfucker make $400 or $500 million and there is no salary cap. There's a salary cap with aprons in place, and then inside the salary cap, there are percentages of the certain amount of money you can pay somebody. And the most money you can pay somebody is 40, and at where he's at in his career, the most money you only pay him is 35% of the salary cap, which happens to be $35 million over $350 million over 5 years. So I'm not freaking out about him making $70 million in a year, because he'll only be the ninth highest paid player in the league.
He's just the person that's up next.
Right.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll be Wembanyama. Or it'll be
Wembanyama's going to be a
Anthony Edwards.
Wembanyama's going to be a $500 million player, at least a $400 million player at some point.
Right. Because the TV money hasn't came in yet from these new TV deals from Amazon, ESPN/ABC, and NBC. It hasn't came in yet, but it's going to expand the money. That's why they see that number. And it's the same thing you were doing with Jaylen Brown a couple years ago or last year. You really want to pay him this big number to freak people out? It's he won Finals MVP, so actually yes. And I gotta tell you, Luka Doncic is a lot better fucking basketball player than Jaylen Brown. So yeah, for me, it's just the number got floated out. He weighs 270 pounds. I'm like, who gives a shit? He's injured. He has a lower body injury. He can't keep in shape to keep his weight down. And he was already probably playing in the 250s anyway when he led the league in scoring last year and took a team to the finals. And he's 6'7". He can drop that weight by the time the season's over. And this is a trade not for the framing for the Mavericks is they have a better fit defensively, so they think they can win now with Kyrie and Anthony Davis together in a 2-3 year window. And I'm like, okay, let me get this right.
What the fuck has either of them ever won by themselves?
That, and you can say, well, they'll be together, so and they compliment each other, which they absolutely do. But my thing is like, okay, so you say this, and I think yes, they can absolutely get to the second round and maybe even get to the West Conference Finals, in certain matchups. But the second they draw the Nuggets, it's over because Anthony Davis will be the biggest big they have on that team, and we've seen whenever Anthony Davis has to guard Nikola Jokic how that works out for him, right? Like, oh, don't put Derek Lively on him. Okay, that'll go so much better.
Second-year player. Okay,
right.
From the Lakers standpoint, I don't know how LeBron and Luka are gonna like play together or anything. Like, I think that having two like ball dominant people like that is not really a key for success. This is Luka's team now. LeBron is gonna be playing off the ball. Like, he gonna be setting screens, James? Is LeBron gonna be talking about? Do you see these screens I'm setting, nigga? Like,
I don't understand like why people say they don't match or their skill sets overlap. It's like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. If one of them has, okay, there are very few guys that have the right height, speed, strength factor to even give them challenges.
Well, I think
no team has two of them.
Well, I think the thing is like you're really just playing 1-on-4 then, because like 4-on-5 then, because like if one of them ain't got the ball, they're really not gonna be moving or cutting or being open or anything. They're just a black hole out there essentially.
They're out there to space or screen for the other one. Like what's most likely going to be most likely situation is Luka has the ball, LeBron sets screens for him, he's a short roll guy. So basically in this theory it's like, okay, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. You have Luka Doncic with the ball, he's Steph Curry. You trap, it's a dunk for LeBron James, or it's a kick to a wide open shooter after you collapse, whatever else. You're able to switch it. LeBron puts whichever dude on the mismatch they take advantage of either side. You drop. There are so many options because they're actually shooting on the floor. Offensively, they're unstoppable. Now, defensively, they're a mess, and they also need to find a big to trade for.
It doesn't feel like the team's complete. Like,
it's
whatever.
Not. And the same thing for the Mavs right now. Like, they have the pieces for being one piece away to where like, they can actually do some damage. Same thing for the Lakers. They got to find a big. And quite honestly, like, for the Lakers, fuck right now. It ain't about trying to win in this LeBron James era.
Yes! Like, we're finally here! Yes!
No. And I'm going to get my part of why this is such a disastrous trade for the Mavericks. Like, okay, you only get so many bites of the apple with whatever roster you have, right? The Lakers had their bites of the apple 2020 through 2021, right? And then they traded for Westbrook, and then it closed the window. They made a disastrous trade, and that ruined it, right? Then the Mavericks had a window, which was last year and this year. Luka got hurt. They said, let's now. The timeline is for what is more important for more or less Kyrie's like time where he still has. So we'll pair him with somebody that also has like the same time frame because they're in back-to-back drafts, and we're going to live with this 3 to 4 year window, and we'll see what happens. And my thing is like, you fools, you have Luka Doncic. Your window was still with him while healthy. Plus, after you blow it up, you still have another 3 or 4 or 5 years with this, because he still has reached his prime. You had his prime as the window. You shorten your window from 8 years to 5. Now imagine, right, Rich? Imagine if at some point in like 2019. Or no, yeah, 2019, right? Or 2020. Yeah, 20. We'll go 20. The Celtics said Tatum, Brown, ain't gonna work, too young, we ain't gonna wait, let's blow it up. They won their title in 2024. Like, you take as many chances as you can, and what they did was just so like it I don't even know the word for that. Like it's not, it goes beyond malpractice. Like it is like literally like purposely harmful. Like this was ill intent to what they did to their franchise.
Bro, if you are a Mavs fan, you should hate this. You should like you might have killed basketball in that.
If I'm a Mavs fan, I hate them. I'm done with them.
Like this is good reason to walk out on your team. Like to be like, fuck this. Like, and this is funny because it's like this is gonna be the first time the Mavs have not had like a white superstar leading their team in like 25 years. I think that's kind of funny, especially trying to sell that team in Texas. I don't think the owners have done the math on this.
That team in North Texas.
Yeah, Mark Cuban had the game figured out right there. But I think that just from a fan service perspective, this is like I feel kind of dirty taking Luka Doncic just away from. It's like, bro, that was their fucking guy. Like it's like, you know, like I feel bad for them. Like, look, I'll still take Luka. Let's not get fucked up.
Right.
But like
anyone would.
But
all but like 2 or 3 teams would, because of what you have to give up to do it. Would be like, why would I do that? Because I already have one of those. There's only like 4 of those. He's one of the 4 at this point in the league right now. Why would you trade one of the 4? This is so dumb to me.
I feel bad for those fans, but I think like Luka's gonna get like he's here in LA now, and it's like I love the move because it's independent of the LeBron timeline. Because like when I just saw LeBron, all I saw was Klutch Sports and just this stranglehold they had on the franchise until they decided otherwise. And now this is like the Lakers being like, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is something else coming. Like, you're not beholden to what was LeBron and Anthony Davis, which I thought was a duo that was going to be, you know, still going out there to diminishing returns after a while. I was like, this is not going to work. Like, neither of them is a three-point shooter by trade in this league. You're not going to win when your 2 best players are like that, and you're relying on the possible 3rd, 4th through the rest of the bench to do all the shooting. Like, it's just not going to work. And this is like, you got you got somebody that's box office, you got somebody that's popular, you got somebody that's probably going to unify, like, the fan base, I would say. It's like, he's certified everywhere. Like, the man's an MVP.
Can you explain to me what you mean by unify the fan base?
Yeah, because, you know, there's a lot of people that don't rock with LeBron. Allegedly.
Oh, the Kobe stance. Okay.
Yeah, because we fought with Luka, you know? So, like, you know, and then it's like, oh, okay. It's like there's a whole new...
Funny. It's funny how, like, the Kobe stans are Kobe stans, but, like, Kobe liked LeBron and LeBron liked Kobe, but, like...
We know what that is.
No?
We know what that
weird.
is. Look, we know what that was. Got to play nice in public.
Got to play. No, you don't.
But you know, it's secret factions running this team. Why do you think Rob Pelinka's still there? Who do you think he was representing?
I don't think he was representing anybody. I think he scammed. I think he's a scam artist that keeps scamming people.
Look, I think
bro, have you heard the background on this now? That we're days past this.
You got to give him credit. You got to give him credit here. I know that.
I just call him scam
nigga.
It was successful.
Yeah, nigga. You only getting 1 draft pick for a middle schooler right now, and we're giving you Anthony Davis. You ain't getting shit else.
That draft pick, that first round draft pick is 2030, right, or 2029?
2029.
2029, bro.
Niggas got traded for a 7th grader, nigga. Like, 8th grader,
Luka
nigga.
Doncic. Oh, bro, hold on. Just hold on. Luka turns 26 in a month, right? In like February. Or this month. Or March, whatever. So they wanted the draft pick when Luka's on the Lakers and he's like 30. What do you think that draft pick's going to be? Do you think it'll be in the lottery?
Don't know, don't care.
No. I'm talking from the Mavs perspective. You like when we see these like okay, when OKC shorted the Clippers, he's like, okay, you want Paul George. I know that Kawhi is signing is contingent on you getting Paul George. I'm holding you for ransom. You aren't trading for just Paul George. You're trading for Paul George and Kawhi. So I want every other draft pick you have for the next decade, right? But Houston got from Brooklyn to get James Harden, right? That kind of stuff. We think that y'all are going to okay, you can have our star player. We'll take your draft picks and get the draft picks at the time when we think this shit, all the winning you're doing is over. So when you get land the lottery balls on top 5 in these drafts because your team is stuck now and all your players are left or whatever else, or the good players are left, those are our picks. That's what OKC did to the Clippers, or that's what they're going to do. That's what Houston is doing to Brooklyn. 2030, Luka will be 30. You fucking idiots.
Luka will have
you should have got the pick. It's so short-sighted. It's so dumb. Like, bro, they traded away the best player in the trade, correct?
Yeah, yes, by far.
Yeah. Okay. They did not. They're still in the tax. What apron? I don't know. They're still in the tax, even with the trade kick from AD, right? They have set themselves up for no future, no long-term future. Like, they have a win now mentality.
Yeah.
When they had we have another decade to still compete. It's because we have one guy here.
They got all
we can figure it out.
They got this collection of number 2s, AD, Clay, Kyrie. Like, it's just like ain't none of y'all niggas number 1.
I don't want to do that nasty stuff. I don't want to get into that.
Y'all got
right?
this. They got
like,
this
because I think for the fit of the team, if they're one piece away, like I think they can actually do some damage. Honestly. But I don't think they can win a title because the Celtics will still kick their ass.
By then, Luka will have an unvandalized mural in LA. Unvandalized.
That's the thing. That's the thing for me. Like, you only get so many chances in your forget as a fan. Like, if you're a GM, you only get so many, or hell, you don't even get a chance. You rarely get the chance to have some guy that you can have on your team and then be lucky enough to, literally, the idea is you are lucky enough to pay them $350 million. Luka's that level of guy where you have to pay him. You're lucky enough to pay him that money.
You're lucky the rules are set up for you to do that.
Right.
And
where you only have to pay him.
You said, fuck the rules. We doing it our way. Like, it is like, well, I guess you are now.
It's like, oh, okay. And then at the press conference when he next to his kid, he's like, well, when I think of the future, I only think of 3 or 4 years. We could be buried, in 10 years. I'm like,
well, you will be. Don't worry. We gonna look it up.
It's like
this
and then you know about all the Nikes that's going on all this. AD Nike, LeBron Nike, Kyrie X Nike, Pelinka X Kobe agent, Kobe Nike, Jason Kidd X Nike.
Nico Harrison was linked with
Nico Harrison is a Nike agent
with Kobe
you hear about
and
how
Pelinka.
The conversation,
they were the inner circle for Kobe.
Bro, I was getting to that. The relationship that Pelinka and Nico Harrison have to where they're only talking about it. There is no market put in place to get a better deal because they're absolutely in a better deal for Luka Doncic, unless you're dumb enough to think that your window should be attached to Kyrie Irving, which apparently he does. So he's delusional. So he's like, all right. Let me look at the league and see what we need to make this team fit around what we have with Kyrie, Klay Thompson. I just traded away Dorian Smith to the Lakers. I'm trying to think and Lively and they come up with Anthony Davis. So it's like, all right, well, you get a player as good as Anthony Davis, and you ain't got to get that much draft capital because you're trying to win now. So that's good enough for you. And it's like, okay, so there's no guarantee you're going to be as good. There's no guarantee that you're going to win your conference making this trade by trading away the superstar. And then if you don't win this year, Clay's only going to get older.
Kyrie's a free agent.
Kyrie's a free agent. He liked playing with Luka. He wanted him and LeBron were trying to do this whole thing to get him out there. Who knows how that goes? Whatever. There's no guarantee that'll be the team that you have next year. So then you get fired, and it's like, all right, well, you plan on never working again? Oh, well, what happens if he gets fired? Probably get a fucking job back in Nike or be an assistant for the Lakers. And it's like, bro, this stinks to high hell. Like, you can't convince me. No, you can convince me a lot of things, but like, there is no way that it's one of the dumbest trades where like that thing I just said as far as like, oh, he'll just get a job picked up, whatever. It's like, that's the kind of things you start thinking about when a trade is this dumb and inexplicable. Because it's like, all right, well, there has to be some other lever or whatever else. Like, there's talk about like maybe this is a play to for the Mavs' new ownership to now be able to relocate the team to Vegas now, or to get their casino in Texas to get this thing going. It's like,
make the Mavs a tenant, like, bro. And there's a conspiracy theory waiting to be had with all this shit and the new ownership of the Mavs and the political donations and all this shit.
Right.
Like, it's
disgusting. Because this is such
with
a
gambling,
trade,
by the way.
Right. And this is trade because, and the reason why people are like this is because the trade makes no sense to.
Well, we did leave out one other part though.
Right.
Like, you know, the reason why they said they couldn't tell anybody was because then Luka finds out, or somebody around the league gets loose lips. They're shopping Luka. Then his agent comes out and says, "All right, cool, we're not going nowhere but this team." And then you set fire to essentially you're going to get it either way, like set fire to the fan base and stuff like that. Like, I think that is a valid reason, because if you're the Mavericks, you're like, all right, I can get Anthony Davis or whatever, but what if the Lakers weren't on that list?
All right, okay, so check this out, right? That's valid, right? Would you rather be the Nets with like all them Phoenix picks from right now, or would you rather be asking like the Mavs fan base? Would you rather be the Mavs fan base right now? Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving. You just traded away like one of the two handfuls of best offensive basketball players you'll ever see in your life for that team, or like would you rather sit with? How was it? 4 draft picks they get that the Nets got from the Phoenix for trading for Kevin Durant at 36. 36, which means so if you were to open this up to full market and you say, well, I don't want to go X, Y, and Z, so did Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was 36 years old, 4 years removed from a fucking torn Achilles, and he commanded 4 first-round draft picks. What the fuck do you think Luka would have commanded? This is so ridiculous to me.
He would have commanded a lot more, but also he would have like basically just picked a spot and probably handicapped you another way. Like, you probably wouldn't have got back what you wanted at that point. Because I know the Lakers ain't have no fucking picks to give.
But and that's what I'm saying. Like, the Anthony Davis part of it is like, my point is like, you're starting fucked up right now. Once you say, I'm going to trade away the guy that can keep me a window for a decade to close the window and shrink it down from 10 years to 3. You're an idiot.
James, what if LeBron?
You are already working on faulty logic to begin with, and then you say, okay, so I'm going to make sure no one else finds out, so that I get no backlash. I get no one. I
get it all
Kyrie,
at once.
Duffy and Luka all like trying to poison this or whatever else, closing the market down, shrinking it, whatever. So I don't get what I want. Okay, you got what you want. Do you feel good right now? Everyone thinks you're a fucking idiot. Everyone already has a countdown to think you're getting fired in the next 24 months.
They calling that man a DEI hire, James.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the press conference as Jason Kidd, and Jason Kidd don't say a word. He looks fucking furious, like he wants to choke you. We know he'll put hands on somebody too.
He'll do it. I think, for the sake of everyone, I just hope LeBron gives Luka the contact to the PEDs, just to make sure we can get Luka's body corrected. We got an easy way to do it.
Has anyone considered, like, when they talk about this, with the thing about his body, whatever else, has anyone considered, like, if he was actually in like the shape of like the NBA superstars, that like he'd be less effective because like part of why he's good is because he has a certain weight that like makes him able to push people around and absorb contact in that way and decelerate faster than the other guys that are like trying to block his shit. He has old man game for a reason.
I was gonna say it helps with his deceptive speed, James.
No, not about set the speed, about stopping. Like, the thing with him is, like, the thing that makes him hard to guard is because, like, he gets you on his hip, and then he's going at a certain speed, and, like, you think you finna make a play on the ball by swiping or whatever else, and he's slowing down faster than you can never match speeds with him because he's changing your speed constantly. You can never get a beat on him well. So, that's how he beats you. But but when he was in shape, like 5 years ago, in better shape, or whatever else, it was like he just going to the rim at regular speed. He was great, but like he wasn't distinct in his own way and unique in his own way to where it's like he's a harder guard being big than actually like in NBA shape. And what you want him to be is NBA shape. Like when that 270 number draw, I was like, who gives a shit? He probably plays 255.
Yeah.
When he's going to let the league in scoring, who cares?
Yeah. Either way. I'm very glad Luka's a Laker now, and it is.
I like it for one reason, and we talked about this before off air probably. Do I need to go elaborate about that one?
Sure.
Like, I think ever since LeBron went to the Heat, I feel like the other 82 owners in this team or in the league have colluded to fuck with the Lakers and Heat, and even other markets like New York or Phoenix or Texas teams where they're like, we are doing things to where we will trade to other small markets, but we will not actually try to help big markets, especially the Heat and the Lakers, because it's unfair that they have the place that they have teams in these places that people want to play at. That reminded part where like no one ever wants to play for the Clippers, except for Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, because he wanted to play with Kawhi Leonard. Like it's a one-time thing ever in our lifetimes with the Clipper thing. So it's like, I feel like these teams have been fucked with. And it's like, it's funny to me because like all these people that are owners of these teams are like complaining about like these destination places or whatever else, like being born on third base. And it's like, that's funny. How do you get your money? You weren't in tech. How do you get your money? Oh, you inherited this franchise, huh? Oh, interesting.
Oh, the no.
Nice self-awareness there. So yeah, for me, it's kind of like, yeah, like I feel like you have like the Chris Paul thing, that was absolute collusion, getting fucked with, and like they should, and like players should have sued them, but they didn't, and whatever.
They
like,
stole from Kobe Bryant.
Like it's just, so for me, it's like that's my one thing is like, the Mavs are fucking idiots, and like I'm
telling you though,
Damian Lillard with the Heat last year, remember?
I'm telling you, bro, like it's better that, or I don't want to say it's better because that's like, I'm trying to interject my opinion too much, but I'm telling you, I think this is ultimately a good thing because it breaks the league out of this very rigid trade style that's happened, as just, I think, allowed for things to be it's like they're thinking about it too much. It's like we let the geeks get in the rooms, and it's like, hey man, let somebody take a swing their way, and we'll clown them later or whatever. But at least there's,
we ain't clown them later. We finna clown them now. We finna clown them after.
But it's like I think this is the most exciting thing to happen in the league for a long time, because it was like, we talked about it before. What were the news stories? Like, it was like, all right, Wembanyama's in Texas, all right, and with the Spurs still. And then it was just, all right, can the Lakers win? The Celtics? And come on, man. Like, it was just like, can LeBron get another one? Can Curry get another one? Can Durant try it again with another super team? Is James Harden alive again? I think this shakes up so much. Like, and now it's like the Lakers are opened up long term again
I mean, it
for
breaks the
the
status
league.
quo for like the future for the NBA, not for this year. Like the Lakers have no chance of winning a damn
Oh
thing
no,
unless they
no.
they have no chance of winning a title. Like, can they make a Western Conference Finals if they find it like a Speedy Claxton or like a Capella and make Capella might be too old at this point, but like if they could find a big, they could catch some lobs from Luka, some Luka lobs, catch some look Blake Lively, welcome to the real world, sucker. But.
Not
But
like
like,
they're saying Rich just want to see someone get fucked over. Not really, bro. Like the league has just been it's been too smart for its own good.
but it ain't been too smart for its own good because these owners and these players, these owners and these GMs still out here bitching and whining about like, we don't want to give these guys this money and X, Y, and Z, and it's like, so okay, when I grew up, max contracts were 7 years. This is 5 years, and then you switch teams only 4. Like, and then they complain about how they have to like re-recruit these players or whatever else. Years later, it's like, bro, nothing is ever
Forever.
nothing is ever good enough for you. It's like when it's like hearing about like these coaches complaining to like everybody in media about like all the NIL stuff. It's like, okay, so before you used to be able to bully these fucking kids, treat them like shit, or whatever else, because you have anger issues to yell at these people that honestly in any other setting will break your fucking face. But now because you have to pay them, you have to now hold your lip. No, how about this? How about this? You let them not get the money, let them punch you in the face. How about y'all run it then? Because you say crazy shit to them all the time. How about that? And then after y'all get done squabbling, then y'all go back to doing y'all drills. How about that? That's cool? No? You don't want that, huh? Shut the fuck up then. So that's the thing that bothers me is like, all they do is complain and bitch and moan about shit being different and like, bro, the job's easier now. Shut up.
Look, you add a couple motherfuckers getting fleeced every now and again, and we gonna get some excitement. I promise. On the day, on the anniversary of the Pau Gasol trade, this shit happened, James. I was just in amazement.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's funny.
It was funny because I saw Pau retweeting the stuff about Luka. I was like, oh, he got a new European big homie, huh?
So that was one of those trades.
God, I wish Kobe could see this.
That was another one of those trades, right? Where it's like the whole league didn't have access. They would have other teams would have offered more, whatever. So he's on the Lakers, fucking whatever else. At least with that one, it was like, I think they're more mad about this. Or no, they're not as mad. Like historically, go back in the time, like teams were mad about this, and immediately made them that title contenders, right? But this is like they are so scared, and this we talk about like this big market thing
rising up.
They're so scared of the Lakers ever being viable, and that's why I'm like, hey man, fuck y'all. I don't like this little owner. This shit was like, it's good for the league because it's the most popular franchise in the sport, and two, it's like you trade or this was this incompetent GM doing this. Yell at them. Be mad at them. Like, stop. Like, this happened all within the rules or whatever else. Like, these are the rules. Y'all agree with this. Y'all have been raping the players union for years or whatever else. You complain about having to pay these guys money that's capped or whatever else. All right, you want to fix this? Uncap get rid of max salaries. Pay your best players $1 billion so they over 5 years so they never ever want to leave, and then start paying all these dudes like $5 million a year below all-star level. They don't want to do that either. Like there is no perfect, like they're always looking for this Goldilocks zone that doesn't exist because they will complain about the unknown nobles then at a time once they get into it. Like, bro, this is a job. It's hard to do. Shut the fuck up and do it, or get fired like Nico Harris about to.
Yeah, he's got some interesting quotes too. It's like he knows what's on the other side of it. He's just like, hey, if I'm right, I'll be a genius, and if not, I'm getting fired. There's really no in between because it's like you are betting
that's crazy.
Luka will never win a title with the Lakers, right? Which is, I think, highly unlikely, right?
No, Rich.
And you're betting he never will win.
Let's say, why do we watch sports?
Why do we watch sports? Escapism.
Why do people watch sports?
Escapism from their normal lives. They love the sport. They want to see people win or be great.
there you go. Wants people to be great. Unless he loses a fucking leg, you missed out on one of the all-time great offensive players. Be great for a decade, regardless of whether he wins or not. Regardless of whether he wins or not, or regardless of whether you win or not, you might win a title in these 4 years. Congratulations. You will still then have to watch Luka Doncic be the best bet in the entire league right now. That's not LeBron James. He's already done it. To score 35,000 points in his career. That's what we're talking about here. You're missing out on a guy. You're missing out on a guy that is most likely in this entire league to finish top 10 in scoring in his career before his career's out. That is like, and you watched him from 2020 to now.
Like that 77
2019 to now.
That 77 Dallas jersey is kind of like an iconic jersey for, this era, I would say. And now that's just going to be a Lakers jersey.
Like it's one of those things where it's like, this is when people complain about players looking out for them and this, that, and third, it's like, bro, if that nigga can get traded, then what am I doing? It cuts both ways, but the only people that ever get the brunt of it is the players. It's never the organizations. Never.
I think it's
the only time it gets brought up is when players mention it, and then they say, "Oh, player empowerment and it's bad." And it's like, all right, man. Well, they traded Luka Doncic at 25 years old. That's insane.
Man,
is it fun? Is it fun to bring up new status quo of the league and the Lakers have like a top have an MVP candidate going forward? Yes, for the league. Yeah, sure.
And we got a foreigner in a big market now. At last.
What's Slovenia's population?
I would have to
if I type in my damn Google and I find out that Slovenia's population is 22 million people, I'm gonna be furious. I'm gonna be fucking furious.
2.12 million as of 2023.
I'm sorry, what?
2,000,000.121 as of 2023.
That's not exactly the same thing. You know what?
That man Euro. That man Euro. He all that.
Look, man.
It's all together.
You know good and damn well all them that Eastern Bloc ain't all rooting for each other. You know good and damn well they not.
It's all the same.
Yeah, man. So for me, it's just like, hey, this is. If you are watching for whoever, for whatever reason to watch the team that you picked or whatever, for whatever reason, win a title. Cool. I don't think them trading away Luka necessarily accomplished them getting a step closer to that. I think they're kind of, I think the fit might be better or whatever else if they find the right piece. But I honestly think like they're going to end up in the same spot they were, maybe one step backwards. And then after that, they will not have Luka Doncic. And like you watch NBA basketball to hope you hope that your team lands one of those guys so you can watch for 15 years. And they said after 5 years in or 6 years in, never mind.
From a fan perspective, that's sad. I was like, bro, they would have traded Kobe in 2004, bro. I would have been like, burn the city down, like the fuck, no,
bro. Look, hey, I saw Shaquille O'Neal move from the Orlando Magic to the Los Angeles Lakers. Rich, am I an Orlando Magic fan?
No.
Okay, then. There you go. I watched a bunch of Orlando Magic and Chicago Bulls growing up. And when Shaq took his ass to LA, I watched a lot of the Los Angeles Lakers. I never became a fan of a team because of that shit. That's a lesson I learned as a kid. And there's another example. Like there'll be kids that will be in the same situation I was. Like, I really like whatever else. I might become a fan or whatever else, or I am a fan, and like your favorite player, the person you put all your hopes in, like you watch this shit because you get the amazement of seeing that person score 70 points. He scored 70, Rich. He scored 70 last year. He's gone. Okay. All right.
All Dirt and Whiskey records is
the NBA.
safe.
It's fantastic.
Hey, all Dirt and Whiskey's records is safe.
Cool. If you're a kid, you be like, oh, the guy that's in the statue? Okay.
Yeah.
The guy that has like the silhouette on the floor? Cool. I can watch that on YouTube. What about right now?
Well, maybe Luke can get his statue in LA. You know, we'll have one for him. They can come visit.
I would bet on there being a statue there. I will bet on that 77 going up in the rafters. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Even if he weighs 270 pounds, fuck out of here. I can't believe that.
We'll order him a big uniform. You know, like we'll take him in. We'll bring him to the beach. You know, we'll be like, hey man, you really want to be out here looking like this? No, okay, we got something for you. You know,
it's crazy.
Look, we get you a nice shipment of Ozempic. You know, and you be all right. You know, like let's get Luka on Ozempic.
I don't think can athletes even play with Ozempic like that?
Look, I look for the sake of the joke. Fuck no. Like
I mean, I don't know. Because like
I don't know.
Because like when you see people that end up like losing weight off the Ozempic at a certain level, it's like it looks like they've also lost muscle mass. So it's like I don't know if that's
like the face, like
yeah. So I don't know if they gotta like microdose. They microdosing the Ozempic.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
AD, you know, him going into the Mavs. Look, and I wanted to do my bit on here. I wanted to, you know, be like, yeah, man, LeBron done double crossed and traded this nigga. Bro, the way everything I'm reading is like this feel like it's on the up and up, which is surprising.
I think okay, so I didn't, you mentioned this like because there's the thing about, there's no part that I'm having issues with it was a closed market, but it's only between those two. It's like, well, there was word that there was a second team that got Luka shopped to. I'm sorry. That Luka got shopped to. We just don't know the name of the team. So I'm pretty sure you process elimination and be like, what bigs are at a certain age that can match Kyrie's age that you can think you can win now with right now, whatever. So you go down elite campus. Yeah.
Like you would
Giannis be on that list. Yeah. Giannis will be on that list. Obviously, I mean, there might be, but whatever. I'm not going to get into speculation, but I'm pretty sure someone come up with a list and figure it out, right? Because it's only probably like 2-3 people besides AD. If that. So the thing for me is like, all right, they say they've been talking about this for 3 weeks. Rich Paul knew about it. So it's like, there's no way that Rich Paul, maybe he didn't tell LeBron. Because I know a lot of jokes is like, you know, the clutch stuff is so like, obviously people think like everything goes through LeBron or like he's a fucking mob boss. It's like, nah, man, like probably what happens is what he does is like, hey man, my conversations that I have for Anthony Davis are for Anthony Davis and Anthony Davis only. And then you'll find out after the fact, you'd be mad at you when he was like, but I'm doing my job. So, for me, and I quite honestly, like, if I tell you stuff all the time, people will find out I'm telling you stuff, and then no one will want to work for me and you ever again at Klutch, dummy. So, I believe that Anthony Davis knew, but through Rich Paul, and like that also explains why he was so quick to like do this, you know, give up his trade kicker, because like ain't nobody just getting traded, shocked, surprised, and then not like where they going, and then like just say I'll give up some money too. Be like, nah, fuck you. This is tax for you. Fucking up my life because I got to move and shit to the other side of the country or to another section of the country in a different time zone. So yeah.
I don't know. I almost want to take him at face value this one time, like and think LeBron didn't know. You know.
I think LeBron didn't know. I think Anthony Davis did though. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. I think Anthony Davis did. Like I thought at first it was like, yeah, that's cover, and then like at first I'm like, okay, well, I'm willing to believe LeBron did not know. I'm not willing to believe that Anthony Davis didn't. There's no way.
Yeah, we gonna get books written about this shit. Like, there's gonna be a fallout from this. Like, this is the biggest
There'll
trade
be
in
an oral
NBA
history
history.
about this.
This is like, usually superstars get traded for parts, and
Yep.
they're either it's before their prime, coming off their prime, where it's like, no, like that. And maybe Davis qualifies as coming off his prime, but he's been, the stats don't really show that. He's still effective.
Athletically, he's coming off his prime.
Yeah. And he moves slower than he once did, but
he's not nearly the vertical lob threat he used to be.
So I don't know.
Still a top 10-ish player too, which is that's how good Luka Doncic is. They got a top 10-ish player in a draft pick, and we're like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, Lakers got a new timeline of stardom. They got a new an actual replacement for whenever LeBron goes. And I think when I said I'll bring it back up, the unifying the fan base thing. Like, you got to admit, like, the LeBron thing. Like, if you were not somebody that was excited about this after a while, after that title in 2020, it's been a long time since then. Obviously, extenuating circumstances. Some people care about the bubble thing, some people don't. But by the time we're getting to the point where Bronny's on the team and we know what the fuck this is, it's like I'm ready to cash out on this entire situation. So it's like, now there's something on the other side of that. That's like a reinvigoration. I think there is going to be a reinvigoration of the fan base that was not.
I would agree with
that. Was dormant.
I would
say.
I would agree with that. My problem when I hear that kind of stuff is like, okay, well, I did see what it looked like between LeBron and Kobe, and like nothing suggests to me that like y'all need, or like when people talk about the clutch stuff or whatever else, or LeBron's control of the Lakers, like, okay, well, I saw what y'all was doing between Kobe and LeBron, and y'all absolutely fucking sucked. So if y'all want to go back to that, have at it. We don't
have to. Because what has happened throughout history happened again.
Rich,
another star showed up.
Rich, I just explained to you that was my logic before this weekend. Like, so for me, it's like, look, yeah, for those that did not like the LeBron experience, like, okay, I hate it. I've been dragged kicking and screaming into 2 Final Fours and a title, and now I get what I want, which is the future of another decade with the all-time players. Like, yeah, you sound like an asshole. You should be grateful, but okay, Lakers fans get it. Cool.
The real fans.
It's weird, man. It's weird. Two Final Fours, a title, and like
and chronic inconsistency.
I didn't really appreciate it because like I was spending too much time doing the fucking debate show stuff between a guy that's on my team and a guy that's not on my team about who's better, who gives a fuck, and it's weird, man.
3 coaches fired.
Look,
Russell Westbrook's reputation ruined. Going out in the first
round. But if you're a Lakers fan, you don't give a fuck about Russell Westbrook's reputation.
He's from LA. He should have been a success story.
Okay, so
like,
are you talking about Lakers?
The way he got treated was abysmal by his hometown.
Rich, hold on. Are you talking about Lakers fans or on the ground locals of LA?
The people,
not the same thing,
bro. He was getting booed out of Staples Center. Like,
Rich, hold on. Are you talking about Lakers fans or LA natives? Not because they're not the same thing.
I would love to hear
that's
the delineation line for this.
Hold on. Okay, so like there are a bunch of players come out of Chicago and LA, right? I've never seen someone complain about like somebody from Chicago goes to the Bulls and doesn't work out. No one is like, oh my god, they ruined Dwayne Wade's reputation at when he was a Chicago Bull.
They ruined his reputation, and then he got that shit right back as a Clipper.
They got bounced in the first round.
But the way Westbrook was playing, he was embraced. He was, effective in the series, and
as a Laker, he was not.
As a Laker, he was
not. How
many
games they win that series?
They won 1 I have to look it up. It's either 1 or 2.
So, guy that's aging, can't shoot, makes irrational decisions, gets a redemption by getting bounced in the first round?
Yeah.
By coming off the bench on the team?
Yeah, because that's not the actual thing that, like, I'm talking about. Like, people thought he was a literal walking dead man in the league because of how he played on the Lakers. Not only was that not true, like, but he's on another team now and contributing to them.
So, Rich, this is like this is like WWE historiology mismanaging what happened in reality. Okay, so Lakers get rid of him. They make the Western Conference Finals. Team he ends up on, come off the bench, gets bounced in the first round. It's redemption for the guy that what?
Yeah, because like, where did it go from there?
If you say so.
Russell Westbrook is awesome again now. Why did he suck so much as a Laker? Because of that fucking offense. That's why. Because like it was a bad fit.
He sucked so much as a Laker because they had the worst shooting in the league when he's on the floor, or some of the worst shooting in the league when he's on the floor.
Look, if you got LeBron and Anthony Davis, who are not shooters themselves, and then the rest of the shooting is expected to come from the rest of the players, and Russell Westbrook being one of them, that's bad team construction.
I know. I'm not arguing that.
And what happened was this guy was to the point where reporters were just saying absurd shit to him. Kevin O'Connor was just burying him like this. Like, he was getting booed in the Staples Center. It was bad for Westbrook the way he got treated out there.
It was bad.
And then he came back and redeemed himself through playing hard, showing heart, and then now again, he's still making an impact somewhere now. So it's like, I think there was just a lot of stuff that was just like, shit was fucked up. Like, you know, like it was like, oh yeah, you went to a Western Conference Finals, but you know,
it's really hard. It's really hard playing for the Yankees. It really is. That's what the Lakers are. They are the Yankees of basketball. They are the Dallas Cowboys of basketball. It's super magnified. If you do well, they'll love you. If you don't play well, or you're a reason why the people think you're not doing well, you're going to get the blues. I understand that. But like, getting called Westbrook ain't the same as like you actually being a really valuable player, and then they go to your house and write "nigga" on your fucking garage. Like this, like can we agree on that one? Like I never really considered the Westbrook thing. It's like, yeah, man, like he's a supporting player now. He's no longer a star. I never considered that. I never even considered that in that way. It was like, oh, there's some redemption arc. Like, I don't think there's redemption arc because like the team got rid of him immediately, went further than they ever would have with him, and then like he went back to like doing the stuff, or not doing stuff. He went back to the same results he's always had, like whenever Kevin Durant's not been around him, which is you get bounced in the first round, except for 1 year, and then he got swept in the second round. So yeah, like I've always seen Westbrook as a certain level of player. I've been more realistic about it than I think other people have. Like, people love him because he works really hard. I'm like, yeah, he works really hard. He's I think he might be the most gifted athlete I've ever, or the most athletic player I've ever seen in the league. But like, the shortcomings were always shortcomings, and like it got exacerbated as he aged. And also, he's had this weird thing of the last since 2020, where like he starts season super slow. So you're like, oh my God, is it over him every single year? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like once you get to Christmas, like, okay, it's not looking nearly as bad or whatever else. Like, because he's done that like basically ever since 2020. Like, where remember he got COVID, remember? And yep. And then they started playing him at center basically on offense for the Rockets and made that shit work. Then when he was on Washington, it started out horribly too, and then he turned it around late. And then hell,
he got the Wizards to the playoffs.
Lakers, and then Clippers. The Nuggets, like, they didn't start well with him there either. And then all of a sudden, like, you're getting close to Christmas, and all of a sudden he started playing well. Like, he has this weird thing going on with him where like he just starts late for some reason. You know, and also you have Jokic out here, you know, doing absolutely ape shit. Which also is like, hey man, like all the talk people talk about, like Murray is a Jokic merchant. Maybe that's true. Maybe there is a reason why he's never made an All-Star team.
He got a bunch of injuries. Like, I think so there was like one year where it was like this nigga was going crazy before the All-Star break. Then he got hurt for like a month, and it was like, well, we can't put you in the All-Star game, so oh well. Like you're not an All-Star technically. Murray.
Westbrook.
Murray.
Oh yeah. That was
I think that was last year.
The year before that.
Oh, okay.
Because then when he ripped up his knee. No, the year before, 2020, coming back from when he ripped up his knee was one the year where he was like, he started slow, he couldn't make it, and then he started turning it on. So like that was like 2022, I want to say.
He's like a fluke non-All-Star. Like he should have made All-Star.
He absolutely is. He absolutely is. But I guess what I'm saying is like, what I'm saying is like when he's healthy, he's still drafting greatly off of Jokic. And I mean, nothing wrong with that.
You know, one day,
nothing wrong with that.
One day we might be able to get Yoke to come play with Luka. You know, and you know.
Do they countries have beef? Have we had that conversation before? Do they countries have beef?
They homeboys. Bring the peace. You know, and if we don't get Yoke, we get Wemby. You know,
what is the Central and Eastern European like word for La Raza? What
Belkej hit us up.
Because you know where the Caucasus Mountains are, right?
No.
In that area, that's just the Caucasity right there. That's just they.
Hey, like I said, and if we don't get Jokic, we'll get Wemby instead. You know, and then we'll have Wemby and Luka together. You know, just beating the league to sleep essentially.
Hey.
So, warning y'all now. What year is this? 2032 or no 2031. Let's go. You know, right when that draft pick goes to the Mavs. You know, Wembanyama, $600 million free agent contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's get it. Be there.
Yeah, I saw a mock-up of a Lakers Wembanyama 11 jersey. I was like, why is he 11? Why isn't he just 1? Is 1 retired?
1 is retired. Hold on. It's not like a. Hold on. Lakers retired numbers. I just want to double check. Actually, I don't think 1 is. Never mind. No, because fucking somebody wore 1. Smush Parker wore 1. Never mind. That's not retired.
Huh. All right. I guess it's.
We got the microphone retired. You know.
I know. We talked about it last week or whatever, how many weeks ago. But yeah, because that was But anyway, it's just this trade is crazy, man. Like when it first happened, I was like, this is like the dumbest trade I can think of. I was initially thinking, same thing. I was like, is this fake? This is fake. And I was like, oh shit, it's real. I was like, in my mind, like, this is the dumbest trade I can remember. And I was like, when it was the James Harden OKC trade, I was like, but we didn't know James Harden was gonna be James Harden. We thought he was gonna be like, he'll make an All-Star team one day. He'll win an MVP one day. You know, like this is like trading. This is literally trading away James Harden, as James Harden is like won a scoring title, has been like in the MVP discussion. It has been finished MVP voting 3 times the last 5 years. It's like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. So
I hope Luka checks in.
The Lakers benefit from more dummies.
I hope that Luka checks in with WAC 100 in the game. You know, and Kendrick. You know, he got to go check in to make sure. You know, he know how to move in these streets. Well, yeah, the West Coast is back, baby.
We need to wrap this up. And Rich, before we wrap this up, we need to throw Beast Move 04 out of here. You read that. That's nonsense.
Should retire the Smushers jersey. Justice for Smush. Bruh, Smush be out here giving interviews after Kobe Bryant has died and shit. You be talking that shit, talking down kind of. Look, now I know you didn't enjoy your experience playing with him, Smush, and I imagine that was not an easy thing to do. However, have you considered being better at any point?
Rich, you know that clip of like the Cleveland Cavs, like the '02 Cleveland Cavs talking about like LeBron coming in and like it's bro. You know like Darius Miles and Carlos Boozer, and they're all like, we got players that are in a position that are better than LeBron, and you come in, you just jump on our bandwagon. The only person that was positive on that clip was Smush Parker, and he said he can come in, he can make an impact like a Karan Butler. Like, that was the most right one of all of them. Can you imagine all that hype, and he was only end up as good as Karan Butler ended up being?
Oh my God.
Can you ever imagine? Oh boy, we would look, niggas would have been burning Nike down. They'd be like, you sold us a bill of goods, fuck niggas. Oh my goodness.
Perhaps
you got anything else on this trade?
Perhaps we would have figured it out very early, and it wouldn't have got as bad for him. But as far as anything about this trade, nah, I think we hit it all, man. I think more teams should be allowed to fuck up like this and not be a slave to the algorithms and the advanced analytics tell you not to make a trade, and everything has to do with loading all these, these picks and everything like that. People fall in love, I think, with draft picks too much. It goes so far the other direction where it's like, let's talk about the players. Even know what these
draft. I agree, because one, you don't even know what these draft boards going to look like.
Yeah.
You know what he's, because there's always, every other year this is the worst draft classes blank.
Yeah.
It seems like. Why? Because Americans can't make good basketball players no more. We used to be a proper country.
King of the North. Wait till the Lakers fuck up bad. Wait till the Lakers fuck up this bad. Rich gonna change his tune. That don't happen to us. That's the thing.
No. It does, but it keeps happening where they do stuff like draft Jason Tatum over Lonzo Ball, right? Draft Brandon Ingram over Jaylen Brown, right? And those guys are and those guys end up holding up rings together wearing green and white. And then you know what happens? LeBron James shows out of nowhere and says, I want to play for you, so it doesn't fucking matter. Or we're selling Paul Gasol on the back of a truck. Or Kareem wants to play either in New York or LA and go to LA. Or Dwight Howard or Anthony Davis wants to play for you. That's the thing. The Lakers and the Celtics fuck up too. The problem is the people want to play for the Lakers. No one wants to play for the Celtics. So they end up getting fucked over. So when you have Bill Simmons cutting them grand spot, they're born on third base. You're like, bro, I'm sorry, man.
Why don't you move your ass home,
right.
Man?
I was about to say, okay, you're right. It is unfair that LA has these advantages. People want to live there. Now take your ass back to New England where you was born from, Bostoner. Since you lived in fucking South California for 20 years. You don't have the self-awareness to realize people rather live in good weather than shitty weather? Oh, okay.
And look, man, the draft is an inexact science, man. Players fuck up. So, niggas traded us Kobe Bryant. Whiffs. Look, niggas traded us Kobe Bryant. If we traded him Vlade Divac. Yep. If you the Hornets, you should want to kill. Look, we shouldn't even look up who the GM was then. I bet they have hidden their name. They have KGB that shit. They have taken their name off the grid. They're like, hold on, dog. Y'all don't you was a nigga that traded Kobe Bryant? Jerry West, please the niggas.
So I know Kobe wanted to be a Laker or whatever else, but was there ever word they poisoned the well on Charlotte or something like that? Do we know? Because players were doing that even back then as far as I don't want to go somewhere.
So
I remember that boo-boo face. Remember that Steve Francis boo-boo face when he thought he was finna go to Vancouver? Remember that?
Yeah. I don't think there was
we can't give you our medicals. Remember, you hear that all the time. The player team X can't get player Y's medicals.
So I think the deal is that. So this is not a directly related story to that because I think Kobe would have played anywhere, right? But he thought the Sixers were going to draft him, and then he worked out for John Calipari.
At what?
Excuse me, the Nets. Sorry.
Okay.
The Nets. And John Calipari was the coach, and he was like, yo, we want to take him. But, I think Kobe's agent said some shit nah, nigga, don't. I had to look it up. But they ended up taking Kerry Kittles or whatever. Yeah. But apparently he had a killer workout for the Nets.
Look, Kerry Kittles was a good player. However, that is one of the greatest drafts of all time. And, you look up and down before and after him, you're like, damn, you drafted Darko. Well, bet he was better NBA player than Dark Beat. My point is
Yeah.
like you missed out. You missed out.
I have to look up the story. There's more to that. I don't have it all, but yeah.
I'm trying to think that 2000. Hold on. 2011 NFL draft. Like, bro, watch this when I talk about the 2011 NFL draft. That's
Cam
just
Newton.
funny. It's Cam Newton draft, but bro, everybody in the top 10 is like almost all of them are like multiple Pro Bowlers or future Hall of Famers, right? So check this out, right? First pick Cam Newton, second pick Von Miller, third pick Marcel Darius, fourth pick AJ Green, fifth pick Patrick Patterson, sixth pick Julio Jones. Atlanta traded up for Julio Jones. They traded like a house for him. It was still worth it. Alden Smith, and then at the eighth pick, Jake Locker. Ninth pick Tyron Smith. Like, imagine you draft Pro Bowler. You take draft Drew Lock, and then the next person after you, all pro tackle. Like it's like that's like what the 96 draft is when it comes to like Kerry Kittle's. Like, bro, that shit was loaded, and you end up picking the one guy that it turned into a multiple time All Star. That sucks. That stinks. And he was still a good player, but it just was like you in that draft class. You better. I can get a Steve Nash, like,
Right.
you know.
Right.
I can get a Stephon Marbury. I can get a Ray Allen. Damn.
Peter Stojakovic even fuck. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
Ben
That's
Wallace
that hurt.
Ben Wallace ain't get drafted at all. You know.
That's that hurt. That is that hurt.
But
It's
yeah,
that hurt.
draft's an inexact science. So I mean, it's 60 years of history, man. Like, I'm bet with the history, like, on this. Like,
Right.
I'm not swayed by an off year or two, or 3 or 4
Or 5.
or 5. I'm not swayed, but we.
Well, it was really. Hold on.
Look, we
7.
back.
Well, okay. So post Kobe. Okay, Kobe tore his Achilles in 2013, right?
Yeah.
All right. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 5 years.
At least we still had Kobe, though. We had something to believe in. Shit.
Oh no. Well, yes, but like they were fucking up. They were fucking up the draft picks. Like if they had, like they were, like that year when he missed, how many games did he play after he tore his Achilles when he came back? Was it like 10?
He played 30.
16?
6. No, he played 6 games, and then he played 36
Okay.
games the next season.
Okay, so he played 6 games in 2014. It's like, all right, there's your. I don't know what their draft pick was for the 14 draft.
Julius Randle.
Okay, Randall ended up being a good player. Wasn't didn't become the player that he was going to be until after the Lakers. But like that's a productive player. But like if I go to look through that draft, there might be people better than him or whatever else. But that was a good pick.
Yeah,
Whatever, that's
good
fine.
to
You landed. He went the second round. No one knew he was going to be that good.
I know.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's inexact science as you mentioned, right? Like Jokic went second round.
Right.
He's about to win 4 MVPs in 5 years like he's LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
3 in a row.